Our first wealth engineers on stage. As you can see, the couple have a huge disparity in height. And we just couldn't fit Nick in. Fortunately, we've got a guy who knows Photoshop, and he shrunk Nick and Chani down. So guys, come up. Okay. Welcome. Your
Thanks
first
very much,
Tunnel
Rob.
Tuesday. We know Nick and Chani very well. Probably the most loving couple in our wealth engineer group. Free hugs. If anyone wants a free hug, Nick's willing to dish them out. So guys, let's take a look at your slide. You joined on the 8th of September last year. By December, earning just over 1,000 Rand a month in recurring income. By July, nearly 2,500 Rand and 4,000 Rand currently for the month. Share your experience of the first time you were exposed to Dewpoint. What was that like? Tell everyone what your experience was, what your impressions were of the business.
Well, there's actually a whole rap that I did because I love Dewpoints. I think Dewpoint's absolutely amazing. I did a whole rap around it, but I'm not going to share that tonight. If you really want to hear it, I'll send it to you on WhatsApp. I was at work, and mates of mine came to me and said, "Nick, let's go and have a look at a presentation." I popped through here. We came on a movie night. I actually watched a movie. Halfway through the movie, I just went, "I'm in." I got home, my wife sort of looked at me and went like, "Are you absolutely off your rocker?" In the first month, I spoke to everybody, guys. I spoke to everybody about Dewpoint. I'm talking about everybody, eh? So my wife said to me, "Okay, hold on a minute. After the first month, sit down. I want you to write the list of all of the people that you've spoken to." I said, "No problem." I sat down and there were 13 people. And I've spoken to everybody. But it's been an amazing journey. The one thing that I do want to say before we sort of go any further is to Brendan and Rob and Tim and Jane and Stacey and Carol and Lynn and Pumi and all of the guys that aren't even in my channel that have motivated us, that have just always been there for us. They're the real deal. They are amazing human beings. I love them to bits. I'm going to get to my channel a little bit later on because they're amazing. But you guys, whenever we get you, there's just such an amazing vibe, and you guys are just absolutely amazing and outstanding. I think we should give all of them a hand.
All right. Thank you. All right. So you thought it was amazing. You were sold. It took a while to get your wife sold on the business. What was your first impression when Nick came home with this new idea?
Nick and I have tried absolutely everything. There's nothing we haven't done to try and make an extra buck on the side. And nothing worked. So when he came home with yet another scheme, scam, I took one look at Brendan and I thought, that's a toothpaste salesman. This guy is just, it's not. Loki is the reason that Nick joined this business. I was ready to buy them each a body bag. And I said to Nick, you've got 30 days. This is going to cost you, at that stage it was $274 a month. And I said to him, that's money you're taking out of my kid's mouth. You either make a profit or you stop. And then I watched him slog hard and he couldn't sell a thing. But the fact that he tried so hard made me actually go, you know what, let's just look at this thing. And it was amazing. It was amazing how difficult it was to get the first person signed up. And it was amazing the objections that we got. It was shocking that you couldn't get people to part with 274 Rand. But it's been amazing.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you to touch on that. Certainly there's a lot of hype and perhaps excitement at the beginning of the presentation. I often tell people excitement doesn't lead to success. So realistically, you've been involved in the business for over a year now. What has that been like, the endurance part of all of this?
Well, I think the one thing that there's a scientific law that says motion causes friction. And it's like that with everything in life. Motion causes friction. If you want to go somewhere amazing, there's going to be friction. If this was easy, everyone would be doing it. And we've heard everyone say that before, but it's not always easy, but you just got to keep on going. In Zulu they say, Zama Zamanjalo, Zamanjalo. You've got to just keep on going, you know what I'm saying? Just never give up. And you've just got to go, you got to go, you got to go. That's all. If they say no, we say next. If they say no, we say next. And that's the way it's got to be. We've got to just keep going. I learned that from Pat. I actually did. I really did. If they say no, off we go. Next we go. Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, you've certainly shown the endurance. Perhaps you'd like to share why you're enduring in this business. I know you want way more out of this business than where you currently are. Perhaps you want to share your ambitions, your goals in the business, what you aspire towards.
So I want the 2 SMS scenario. I really do. I was sitting there listening to Rob. I've never heard him use that analogy, but I think it is such a nice analogy. When you're debt free, imagine a world where you could choose what you want to do, when you want to do it, and who you want to do it with. I think that would be such an amazing place to be. I love my job. Guys, I love my job. The job that I have where I'm working at the moment, I'm one of those passionate people that get out there every single day and I wake up and I'm like, woohoo, because I love my job. But I want to be in a position where I can choose where I go, when I go there, and who I go there with. And that's really what I want.
Liberation.
Go and sit on the beach with a team of people and go and have a whole stack of fun with my G Point friends.
That's great. I'm sure Brendan and I will be there. Brendan will bring his toothpaste boxes. Success in this business is certainly not dependent on your sole efforts. So I give you the opportunity to address your channel, the people that have perhaps collaborated with you, a message, if you will, to your channel.
Sure. So, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much to my upline. I even want to say thank you so much to my crossline. You look at guys like Donnie and obviously Patrick and Pumi and a whole of the guys that are not necessarily my channel. Thanks so much for always just making sure that we stay motivated. Thanks for always being an example. Then to my channel, Rudolph, Marsha, Loki. Then the guys that are in our team, David, you're also in our channel. You're part of our team. And then the guys that are in my downline, Bern, Debs, all of you guys. You just got to keep on going. Every single day, get out there, speak to one person. If it's just one person, speak to one person a day. Make sure that you don't give up. You've just got to keep on going every single day. Don't give up. There'll be moments where you feel like giving up. The answer is just don't. Just keep on keeping on. That's all you got to do. You're amazing. You're an earth shaker. You're a history maker. Keep on going. Loki, thanks for introducing me to this business, my brother. You're a brother. I know I love you lots, and I can't even tell you how much we appreciate you so much. I'm going to hand this over to Chani, if that's okay, just for a second.
Course.
Also, just to say something.
To our downline, I think I tell you guys every time I see each and every one of you that most people will believe that it takes a personality like Nick to be a success in this business. But let me tell you, if you're quiet and you're reserved, you'll bring more people into this business that will stay and make a bigger effort than if you just bring in an extrovert, because extroverts talk all the time, so people don't tend to take them seriously. But when a quiet person stands up and speaks, they start to get heard. So don't think that because you're quiet, you can't speak to people. Just talk to them in your own quiet way and just tick on, keep going.
Great, thank you guys.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
And I'd like to ask Jack to come up onto stage. It's his second time at Tell All Tuesday. On the spot there. All right, Jack, you joined at the end of January. February, nearly 1,000 Rand a month in recurring income. By June, nearly 4,000 Rand a month. And you're sitting currently, the value of his channel this month is sitting at almost, or just over 8,000 Rand a month. You can do more than 3 plus 2. Jack, would you like to share your experience of how you were exposed to Dew Point in January? Was it good or bad?
It was bad.
Was it?
Right there, good evening, everybody. As Rob has already said, my name is Jack Dolamo, and I'm coming from Wheatbank. And I was introduced to this business in January, in the middle of, poverty, because I just, paid the, the school fees for the children, and, I didn't have any money left. And I was, before actually I'll continue with this, I was introduced by Mavuma Zega in this network business. And he knew me from this other previous network which we were busy doing. And I was actually hurt, I was very hurt. Because, they introduced me into that business, promising me to, to get the lifetime recurring income, only to find out there were year modes, along the way, which, actually crippled my income, I was, involved in debts, hoping that because I was earning more than 27,000 Rand a month, I knew that I could afford it. But come the second year, the third year, the fourth year, it was very crazy. Because actually, I bought the car, and when they introduced me into this business, actually, I nearly lost that car because I was involved in a car accident, and then I had to sit down without working for about 8 months. And for 8 months, I couldn't even do the network, So it means that, when the EMOs caught up with me, and then my commission went down, flat down. And it was very much hectic for me. But fortunately enough, when Mavuma told me about this, and then I listened a bit, and I was a little bit skeptical, and then I said to Mavuma, I was, lied before, so to say. Sorry to say that, but I was lied before, and then so things didn't happen the way I was expecting. And then he said to me, my brother, I'm telling you, Dew Point business opportunity, come and see it. And then, I was very skeptical. Eventually, I gave in, and then I said, okay, let me just go and see what the Mavuma is talking about. And then I came to the presentation. Brandon Benfield was busy presenting here. And, after presenting, and then I went to him, and then I asked him a couple of questions about, the year modes and the business fees. And even, the competitions, and the answers were all negative towards I was, thinking, There were no EMOs, there were no business fee, there was no competitions in this business. And I said, wow, this is fantastic, I can do this business. And then I started doing it, even though, I started in January, but I was doing it underground because I was still with the other network. Yeah, and yeah, you know that, you know where we're coming from. And they said we're not allowed to be involved with the other network marketing businesses while we're still with them. And then, yeah, eventually I lost, some of my commissions which was left. And then they said, no, they're going to take it away after realizing that I was doing Dew Point. I said, no, it's fine. So, yeah, they tried to starve me, alive, but that was when they were putting petrol on fire. And then I started catching up, and then I did the Dew Point. Today I can tell you that, I've got financial freedom. My bank account, I don't know that thing that there is insufficient amount in my bank account. So, yeah, it was a nice journey, up to so far up. Even though I want to make it clear to you guys that the Dew Point is not easy to do. Actually, not Dew Point, but each and every network marketing business is not very easy. When I started this business, I was putting people inside the business because even I was a little bit frustrated because, having lost another commission from that other company, I was putting each and every person which I found on the way, and being bafaga by a puma, bafaga by a puma good business. So, but then eventually I said, okay, after 3 months, I said, okay, let me now start, looking at the quality of the people which I bring into this business. And then I started putting quality people, and then that is where now my business started to boom. Yes.
Jack, I know you've worked tremendously hard this year. You've told me that you're tired, but you endure anyway. Why do you endure? Where do you want to get with this business?
To be honest with you, I'm doing this business very hard. Sometimes I'm coming from work, working night shift, and then I had to come here for the presentation at 10 o'clock in the morning. And then sometimes I have to come here for the presentation, still in that 2 hours, having to work night shift and then going back late at work. because I know this business is going to sustain my life, it will never stop coming. So this business is more important than my 24-hour job, which I'm doing. So yes, in this business, I'm very much grateful in doing this business, and I'm prepared to die for it.
You're doing lots of work on Mpumalanga. Do you want to speak to your team? We like to recognize the fact that the success is not on your own efforts.
Yes, you can't do it alone. I always say to people, there is no I in this business. You always work with your team. So together we can do it. I like to recognize my people, my cheerleaders, from down in Nelspruit in the Lowveld in Mpumalanga. I know they're live streaming now. Mams Melanie, keep the good work going, and then. Coming up, to Wheatbank, I've got the Abumam Miriam Lukuleni there, that side. So they are pushing the business. Going to Ochis, I've got the Pastor Kekana there, which are doing very good job. Moving along to Pretoria side, wow, the guys are here, all of them, Yeah, thank you very much. The team has been led by Tumelos Slumani there, and then I've got the Dennis Muleofe, I know you are live streaming as well now with your people in Pretoria as well. I've got the Rendanis, the Fridas in Pretoria. Those are cheerleaders, Brashesi, good work you're doing there in Pretoria as well. I've got the people, in Soweto, I've got the Wilson Maredi, they are doing a very good job there. They're sitting there as well. I've got the, Mr. Lebang Nong, how can I forget you, and Dr. D said, so those people are doing very hard, they are working very hard. I've got the Cindy's in Centurion, they are doing a lot of work, These are the people who are actually, making this opportunity become reality. So I would love to thank Mavuma as well for introducing me into this business, that is the person who made us so the opportunity.
Great, Jack. It's very exciting. We're very excited to where you're going to be. It's
No.
early days, 11 months in.
Yeah, well, 11 months in, but yes, I'm still having, some dreams and aspirations, I want to see myself, ranking up, eventually, even this month, I nearly hit 2 ranks in 1 month, so, but yeah, I'm happy with that, and then next month I'm gonna rank up again. Yes, thank you very much, and then, in a bigger picture, I want to see myself, retiring financially secured, with the amount of money whereby I won't have any problems in affording myself. I don't want to depend on the government. What do we call it? Yeah.
There could be another thing.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I've got the children as well, which need to be going to be at the university. So I know that Dew Point is going to make me able to afford that, So yes, big ups to Dew Point. And I want to say to my team, you know what, guys? Rabagen, arba skraba hemisa, skraba fachance. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks, Jack. And we come to Don Landon. All the way from PE. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Don, your first time up on stage, very exciting. You can see by the smile, very infectious smile that Don has. You joined on the 14th of December, just before Christmas. I hope someone didn't show you a Christmas dinner presentation, a Dew Point presentation during Christmas dinner. But joined over December, by July, earning nearly 4,000 Rand a month. 60 days later, September, 6,500 Rand a month, and then nearly doubled that again 60 days later after that. What's important to note is that Don actually, even though he joined in December, you only really started doing the business in June. So if we go back and we look at his returns, he earned nothing up until June. So really, in the space of a month, to go from 0 to almost 4,000 Rand a month, remarkable. Don, tell us about your early experience of Dew Point.
Well, people do.
Yeah,
sorry, can I just not end with it, but can I just say thank you to the Port Elizabeth team now, and to the Beaufort West and Butterworth and everyone else. There's people all over the country, even in Joburg now, that I've signed up people as well. So thank you to the whole team. That's the reason why I'm here today. Thank you very much. All right.
Just hold it up.
But just to clarify, people do know I've been involved in networking for a long time. In the previous company, the first presentation I went to, I actually ran out the presentation. I spoke to my upline last month and said, can you remember, Freddie, when you were running after me? And the reason was because we were involved there, and we made good money as well, but the problem was we were only paid for 12 months. Basically 12 months commission of the earnings. That's why I could never do it, but I continued because I saw the simplicity of the network. So when this came along, I decided just to own the product because I loved the investment product. And I thought I'll just own that, until eventually I decided, let me give this thing a real bash. And in May, June, I started working the business and, making calls, seeing people. And it is a simple business. When you say it's not easy, it actually becomes easy the more you do it. So the more you share it and the more you explain it and the more you make the calls. But the nice thing about this, Rob, is that you don't carry any books with you. And the other thing is that I don't have to waste time faxing forms. And then also, I have to waste time phoning and finding out if it's been captured. I don't have that waste of time anymore.
It's the simple things, Don.
It's just, it's simple. So it was unbelievable because with the previous company, we did go to 3-4 meetings a year, the top people, you remember, and we asked, can we have permanent commission? And there was absolutely no ways. We were fighting a brick wall. And eventually the business fee got to 75 Rand top of your premium, and we still didn't get any earnings from that. So it was a simple opportunity that you join online, you get paid very highly here, and you just got to keep the structure right and understand the structure. It's so simple. It's so simple. But it does take work. But so does a job. Or same when you're employed. So you just got to do it. It's that simple, okay? So I'm not in full force yet. I'm working about 60% at the moment. But I'm hoping to go full force in the next month or two. To really push it. My goal was when I started in June is to try to be by 350 paying premiums by December. And then my goal is by next year December to be on 1,000. But my main reason why I got involved is because I want to go overseas paid by someone else. I love it. I love it. I've been going overseas for 10, 15 years, 5-star hotel, Singapore, Phuket, Thailand, Mauritius. I've been on cruises. I went on the Oasis of the Seas a few years ago. I've traveled all over the world. It's been phenomenal. That's besides my own money, taking my daughters to Disney World and traveling over myself and taking them on cruises. But the thing is, networking works. I can tell you right now it works. In my first month with the previous company, when I started working, I earned about 172 Rand. My first month here, I think the very first month I earned, I thought, hang on, this is a little bit better. Can you see? So I realized this is the right room I'm sitting in tonight. All right, so give yourselves a hand that you're in Dew Point tonight. I can tell you that now. And also thank you to the guy that phoned me from Joburg. He phoned me up and he started. By the way, when you launched in February, I was phoned in about April, a month later.
Okay.
And I just was not interested. Not interested. But he persisted and he persisted and he persisted. I'm sure you all know Mario.
Yeah.
And he persisted and he persisted and he persisted. So eventually I thought, I'll take the damn product.
Yeah.
Because the investment looks so good. It actually looks so good. I couldn't believe this funds that you can put your money into offshore. Couldn't believe it. So I took it out. Which is fair. I mean, you can take a product with any, But when I got started, I really could see now, and I can really see in the future what people will be earning here in Rob. And I can honestly say the guys are going to be earning in this company probably 300 to $500,000 Rand a month.
I hope so.
In the next
this
7
is
to 10
certainly
years, I can
early
see that.
days in our business. And for yourself, to what end, Don? When do you deem yourself successful? When do you go from working 60% to 100% to going 15%? I can now relax.
No, look, you still got to do every day, you got to meet a prospect. Every day you got to stick your hand out and say hello. That's got to be constant. That's like your heartbeat. If you're not doing that daily, you're not building a network. I can tell you right now, if you're not meeting people daily or saying hello to someone, to strangers on a daily basis, you're dead. Okay. So if you just take that as a tip, because if you get that right, you're going to make a lot of money in Dupont. So for your question asked is when I'm going to go really into it. And my goal is, yes, it's not a big income. Some guys want to make 100,000 straight away, 200,000. My goal is to get to 15, 20,000, and then I'm start putting more effort into my business. I mean, really, where I can take it quickly to a 50,000 Rand plus income, and eventually get to my 6-figure income. Would you all like 100,000 Rand a month? Yes, I'm sure you'd like that.
Don, any final comments or messages to your channel? I know you thanked a couple of people as we begun, but any final words?
To the whole team that are involved, it's just a method of keeping on. You got to keep on keeping on. And the thing is, when people get started the first time, you think about the first time you saw this opportunity. Didn't you get excited the first time? The first time you saw the opportunity, you got excited. The sad thing is people fall out 3-4 months later because they don't know how to keep that excitement and bottle it up, basically. If you can keep that same excitement daily with this business, you're going to become successful. That's a fact. But the problem is that we lose it too quickly because of negative people out there. So in Afrikaans, hulle sê 'n vark ken nie 'n vark stink nie. So don't hang around the negative people. Okay. Thank you very much.
Great, Don. Some wonderful lessons there. Thank you. And then we have our final wealth engineer all the way from the Free State. Motlaletsona, come up and speak to me. There we go, ma'am. All the way from the Free State, my home province. I was born in Welkom.
Okay.
You can see Motlaletsona is from Bloemfontein. She joined in the middle of April and has had phenomenal success in a very short amount of time. By July, nearly 5,000 Rand a month. 60 days later, nearly 9,000 Rand a month, and then another 4,000 Rand on top of that by November. And November is not finished yet, right? By the way. Just by the way. So that number is certainly going to go up. Tell us about your early experience of the business. I know your father was involved. Share your story with us of becoming involved at Dew Point.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me firstly say thank you for the opportunity. And I followed this system. I studied it. And then as every all Tuesday came on, I said to myself, I've seen people from different provinces, but there is an error on that platform. I want to get that error corrected. And this evening, the error has been corrected. The rose is in the house, and we are here. When I saw the business opportunity, I was not excited about it. And I tried everything possible just to block this person who was forever telling me, and he actually wanted to make sure that every time he was with my family member, I was part of the meeting. And then I said, okay. As time goes on, I started listening attentively. At the end of it all, I said to myself, but I've got nothing to lose here. All that I needed to do was to make sure that what I want, I will get. Yeah. I was in this other previous network marketing, like they already said. I hate being dishonest to myself. I also hate to be comforted by discomfort. And the other thing that I don't like is not to be myself when I'm in the system. So when I looked at this Dew Point system, I said, it gives me the retention strategy. I want to work the business in such a way that at the end of the day, when I want to retire, I'm not going to retire, I'm going to rewire. Because I'll be focusing on more things that makes me happy. I'll be following my passion because I'll be having money to do things that matters most to me. So this is where I am today. I want to say to all of you, this business has got power. As I studied it, I saw many things that I never thought I'll be able to be rejuvenated by them before. I was down and I was just about to be out. Yes, people can write you off, but as long as they've forgotten to write the inner you off, you can still take yourself off the ground and shake the dust off and get to where you belong, which is the top.
So where do you want to be? Still early days. You've been in the business since April, but I hope you have a long-term goal. I tell everyone,
Yes.
you've got to have a long-term goal.
I'm a person and investment. I'm a person and properties. Currently, I've got 3 properties, but it's not enough. I'm a person who like to have residual recurring income from the investment that I will have developed from the income from this business opportunity. And the other thing that I'm seeing ahead of me is that I want to touch many lives of men and women in this country. We don't have control over what is happening in our country right now. The economy of our country is changing like, you know, the four seasons of Cape Town. But today I want to say to you, if you just want to be part of the growing nation financially, you have to believe first in yourself and believe in the system and hang around people who talk positivity into your life. If you fail to familiarize yourself with something that has such a retention strategy for you, something that is going to take you to the wildest dreams of your life, you are failing yourself. Never be comforted by discomfort. Never allow other people to intimidate you by saying that they will take away what they have put in your bank account. No. You can make that money again. You've got the capacity to rise up again. And I want to tell you one thing. If you think that by threatening people, you are going to get hold of their lives, the only thing that you can take away from a person is time. Do not allow people to take your time away from yourself. Do not allow people to stop you to release all your potential, that you will be able to make more money from your potential.
Wow.
I can see you must speak a lot of power into your channel. Do you want to give your channel a message? It's your opportunity to speak to them. I'm sure they're all over South Africa.
I know they are live streaming right now as I'm standing here. And yes, I can see Dr. Ross and Me Pinky. I've got a whole lot of doctors in my team. I've got Dr. Faith and Dr. Ntabiseng here seated. I've got a whole lot of pastors in my team. And I've got, people of high profile in my team. I'm not underestimating anyone, but I'm saying I've got the likes of Boma Mfundisi in my team, people who are there, people who know what they want, people who are sick and tired of becoming sick and tired, people who are, I've got a whole lot of people who say, I want to make a difference in other people's lives. So let me say to you, you will never be successful until you realize that the sheep will never be able to see other oceans until they've got the courage to lose sight of the shore. On your own, be prepared to play and win. But at the end of the day, do not be afraid to lose with the same breath. To my team, stay courageous, be risk takers. And when you fall as a woman be, remember one thing, fall first, fall fast, and be the one to fall forward. Never fall backwards. Because in this business, it's all about forward you go. So to all of my channel throughout the country, to all those that have believed in me for the entire festive season, whenever you are not going anywhere, I'm here to help you build your channel. We want to see ourselves. I've got a target with my team. I've built a team of, I've got 40 on my first point. And I'm building them in such a way that come next year, during the incentive conference, 10 of them at least, they are on point, on rank 9 and above. That's my intention. And before I can just sit down, I want to say thank you to a very beautiful couple in here, Auntie Steffi, and your beautiful and your handsome husband, Uncle Denzel. Yo, these people are very, they've got guards. They traveled all the way to Bloemfontein, and they will even tell me not to go across the border because they come to see my family members, so that I must be part of them. So thank you so much for being so persistent. Thank you so much for making sure that at the end of the day, I become part of this team. Without your support, Uncle D, without your support, Auntie Steffi, I wouldn't be standing here today. You have done an enormous work on me because I've been such a stubborn client. But I don't regret anything. And to my daughter, thank you so much for not giving up on me. And from my son one day said to me, Mommy, you know, as I'm looking at the top performers in Dew Point right now, there's nothing that can stop you from being to that position. So Pumi and Pat, thank you for holding on, because when you are there, when you are still holding on, we believe that this is doable. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Motlaletsona, thank you so much.